So, I live for the sake of God. When we think about our parents, and then we are using the word of the filial piety. But Father, the Reverend Yohanis said, this is not just only for God and for the parent. Same concept, same content, same attitude need to go to your children. This is a filial piety. When parents have the filial piety toward their own children, they surely become filial son and daughters. Aju?
Aju.
And then same attitude horizontally. Why you cannot build a good relationship with your spouse? Because you don't have a filial piety to your spouse. Vertical concept, not horizontal concept. That's why when we think of the filial piety to my spouse, cannot think anymore, horizontally. Think vertically, wow, she is God's daughter. She is God's wife. Then have automatically vertical concept, and then have the heart of the filial piety to my spouse, to my children, to my able, to my leader, to my younger brothers and sisters. Wow, this is really amazing. Amazing. That's why what's the core content of the living for the sake of others? That is filial heart. Filial heart. Aju?
Aju.
That's why I told Reverend Yohani, filial piety only we can use to the parents, not to the wife, not to the children, not to your neighbors. This is something, cannot understand about this one. And one day I talked to Reverend Yohan in such a way, and he smiled on me. Read.
You must know for whom do I exist. You should not exist for your own sake. You must exist for the sake of the nation and for the world. Furthermore, based on a certain thought system or ideology, you must exist for the sake of heaven and earth. All of you must become a group of people who merge with the pride of existing for the sake of heaven and earth.
That's why the world is our stage. You see now, the world become more narrow and become more smaller and smaller. Chinese, virus, coronavirus, affect to everywhere. Everywhere, even small things connect to my family, my nation, whole world. Now entire world family become my family. We need to think about it. That's why we are talking about global warming, or this and that. That much now, really, the world become one family under God. That's all. And the one world is like one nation. That's why how can we throw away our own ethnic group concept? How can we throw away about our own religious thought and philosophy? And then how can we throw away our racial concept? This kind of small concept, how can we throw away? How can we really build one family under God? That's why Father's story is so beautiful, amazing. Nobody can guide this way. Aju? Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your mind. And then some of the Western guy asked me, but God is selfish. God asked the human being, you need to love me most. Then Father said, actually God, He's the one who loves you, first. So God said, love all mankind, each one of my children with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind. God already practiced that kind of principle of true love. God has a filial piety toward each one of the human beings. You never heard about this one. God has filial piety. toward each one of the human being. Can you imagine about God love our Ahara? Yeah, with his whole heart, with his whole soul, with his whole his mind. God said to the human being, this is my first and greatest commandment toward human being. God already practiced. Jesus already practiced. Our true parents already practiced centering on filial piety. God's first commandment, I love you with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my mind. This is my first commandment toward you. How amazing it is. How much God loves me. How much true parents love me. When you think about your father and mother, I love you so much, more than anything else. God also saying things. Huh? How can we recognize that kind of God's heart and mind? Read.
Heaven's desire, living for the sake of others. God desires for human beings to love the world more than they love their own nation. God himself desires the salvation of all humankind more than saving the people of this nation. In response to this demand of the Father, you must have the heart of being able to love the world more than your own nation and love humanity more than your own siblings. In so doing, you should become sons and daughters who strenuously appeal in tears, saying, Dear heaven, I shall bear the cross for the sake of the great fortunes of the kingdom of heaven. Please entrust this to me.
That's why I really have a strong desire to raise up our second generation, our youth, our young people. Let them live for the sake of the world, not just only Asia. That's why the purpose of the creating YLT to expand to the world, not just only Oceania, not just only Pacific, not just only Asia. How can we create this kind of atmosphere and then sending all over the world? Any leader, any second generation leader, any national leader, we have this kind of same concept as God. How much our nation can develop, how much the world can develop. Only a life lived for others is worth living.
From now on, the great revival movement shall begin through the altars of the unification movement, beginning from Asia and reaching the entire world.
Why Father said from beginning Asia? Asia is an initiated filial piety. Asia filial piety need to reaching to entire world. Should have like that. Okay.
The realm of resurrection here does not refer to the realm of resurrection of the individual. Rather, it refers to the realm of resurrection of the world that goes beyond the people and nation. Therefore, we should grasp the nation with our left hand and the world with our right. You should shed tears for the nation with the conviction that this nation is necessary in order to recover the world and become sons and daughters who follow God as He cries for the sake of the world.
Therefore, my brothers and sisters, Truman already completed the first 7 years course as a Chonilgu from 2013. Father passed away year of 2012. 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 already finished. That's why second 7 years course start from 2020, 2020, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and then complete. And then 2027 is God's 60th anniversary. Second 7 years ago. That's why, a few days ago when I see Mother's health, I really worry. How come she cannot stand few minutes? Because so much painful his legs. That's why I really I cried. I have strong determination. How can we establish one nation, God's nation quickly in Nepal, in Cambodia, in the Philippines? Where? Then my heart is really unstable now. I need to more speed up. Hurry up to restore one nation. Without restoration one nation, how can we establish one world? Okay.
If there are sons and daughters who fight in tears to become a sacrificial offering for the sake of the salvation and liberation of humankind in this world, beyond the people and nation, and without regard to their own salvation or the salvation of one's clan, from them a new historical global movement shall arise, bringing a new global transformation. Isn't that so? Then the countless of nations who see this, and the rest of humanity who are unable to take part in this movement, would thank them for shedding the tears that they were supposed to shed and submit before them in tears. You must understand that a new ideal of the kingdom of God shall be advanced in this way.
What is your tears level? Just cry for your own sake? Just cry for your own children, own your family? Just cry for your own tribe? How much shed tears for the sake of the nation? What's the level of your tears? How much you cry out and shedding tears for the sake of the world? Those who are saints and saints always shed tears for the sake of the world. When I think about the Father, how much He shed tears for the sake of all mankind. What is your level of tears? How much you shed tears for your own nation? This is a patriot. Why we call they are patriot? Because they cry, and for the sake of the nation, we call them they are patriot. Those who are just cry for my own father, own mother, and then for own my children, your level is your family level. That's why we need to upgrade our tears, shedding tears for the sake of the world. Yeah, almost finished.
God desires for the people of a nation to embrace the will of providence of saving the world over the nation rather than embracing the goal centered on saving a nation and its people. If there are such people of a nation, they can save the world no matter how evil their history may have been.
Just a moment. That's why those who have the concept, how can I save the world? This kind of the guy, this kind of the girl only can restore one nation. You don't have the concept of the world salvation, you cannot restore even one nation, even one tribe. That's why in order to restore one nation, you need to have the concept of world salvation. Restoration of the all mankind, then only you can restore your tribe, your nation. Continue. Great Britain.
Great Britain were a bunch of pirates in the past. Yet, since they carried on missionary activities of Christianity for the sake of the world beyond the people of their nation, they were able to guide the world's civilizations. In doing so, they became an advanced nation of this world through the course of the rise and fall of cultures. It is not because their history was good. They are receiving such blessings because they had become the champion of this pioneering course for the sake of the world, while they trod such a miserable path while shedding tears for the sake of the global course to come.
Julius. And then Merlin. We really need to teach our Filipino girls and boys. One of the most important things is what? Teaching the concept of the patriotism. Filipino. No concept of the patriotism. Why Korea developed this much? Of course, now different story. Korean people has the concept of the patriotism. For my nation, I can sacrifice. I can die. Philo. Even though they love their own family, no concept of the patriotism. That's why how can we give hope and vision for young people? Need to tell them how to love our nation. Aju? Okay.
We can see this fact through modern history. Thus, we of the Unification Church today must also shed tears. These tears should not be shed for our own sake, but for the sake of the nation and humankind. If you can shed tears with this heart, the people of this world shall be resurrected, and that nation too shall be resurrected. If there are sons and daughters who offer their entire life and shed tears on that destined path to prepare an altar of repentance and redemption, God would not allow that person to die.
When you die, what kind of the level 성화 ceremony? Family level 성화 ceremony, your tribal level 성화 ceremony, national level 성화 ceremony, or worldwide level 성화 ceremony. According to your level of tears. You shed tears for the sake of the world. Then everybody recognize he should be worldwide level 성화 ceremony. When Ekana died, what kind of the level 성화 ceremony? Just only for Nepal? Just a national level. He lived for the sake of the Asia and Pacific, and then just continental level. But in the future become, I don't know, president of UPF, world president of UPF. Right? Worldwide level. Everybody. That's why I really love Father. To restore one nation as a national leader, we need to have a very clear concept, world salvation. Then, surely, we can restore our nation. When we think about the concept of the world salvation, and then I can see my people, I can see my nation, I can have the vision how to restore my nation. You don't have the world concept, how to restore the whole mankind. You got to never provide any vision to restore one nation, one sovereignty, one people. Read.
When God asks, what is it that you desire? Do you wish for your family? And you answer, no. I do not wish for a family, but wish for that nation. For that nation you are restoring. If you answer in this way, in tears, God will grasp your hand, saying, my beloved, I have been searching for a son like you. I have finally found you. God would weep and divulge his history to you. This is the kind of setting in which you create a bond with God. In other words, you create a bond that in that place where you can say, nevertheless, not my will, but thine be done.
And then Father recommend all blessed family at least live centering on 3 nations. So our Dr. Kittel, more than 3 nations. Okay? Already how many nations? Pakistan, and then Sri Lanka, and India, and Nepal, and Thailand, and then Philippines, and then now he's thinking to move to the Cambodia. So this is only continental level. You need to live a minimum centering on 3 continental level. That is a worldwide level. That's why I really push our Dr. Kittel to contribute something for the sake of other continent through educational content. 자, last slide.
Living for the sake of others is the universal principle that defines the way we should live our lives. The one law of the true way of life.
아주? 아주? 그래서 이번에 guest come over, we are busy to take care of our own Asian VIP, but when you see even African or European, VIP, anyone, we really need to treat them. Okay? They are our own guests. God, He's the one who invited them to come here. True parents, they are the one who invited them to come here. They are God's guests. So, airport reception is very important. Hotel also reception is very important. We need to prepare our heart. How can we really serve them, love them, protect them, and then they have any inconvenience, and then we can help them. Really, they feel like comfortable. So everything comes from our heart. 아주? 너 언제 왔니? When did you come? Your sister also? So, 아주? That's why I really love the father's philosophy, living for the sake of others. 아주? So why we have to live for the sake of others? What's the conclusion? No choice. Universal principle is like that. No choice. Without living for the sake of others, become Satan. Self-centered. Our enemy. Self-centered. Dr. Kito, share. Going to move to Cambodia or not?
Thank you, Dr. Young. Oops, the one thing that Dr. Young mentioned that kind of struck me was this concept of filial piety. Parents need to have filial piety to their children. And then children, you need to filial piety towards your spouse, filial piety towards brothers and sisters. And then he used the phrase, filial heart. The Korean is hyojang. I think this is what Mother is trying to emphasize, this filial heart in all relationships, not just in, then that means that the relationships are no longer just horizontal, but the relationships are vertical. There's a vertical nature in the relationships. Because just horizontal humanism, I think that's maybe what Dr. Young is talking about, lack of patriotism. I mean, there's a lot of humanism. The Filipino people are very passionate. But you need the vertical side is the patriotic side, that filial piety toward your nation. Thank you.
Father said, we need to have a humanism. But what kind of humanism? Heavenly humanism. Human right, yes, right. But heavenly human right means centering